Hey, welcome to your daily Bravo drama deep dive. In this audio, we will be talking about Amanda and Wes getting caught lying about their timeline and fleeing to Italy. West's nude photo leak, Kelly Dodd facing jail time, Mauricio Mansky running for mayor, and so much more. We'll cover everything coming up in this audio.
We really do have just a massive stack of reality TV bombshells today.
Oh, completely. From reunion scandals and leaked photos to actual criminal charges and mayoral campaigns.
Yeah, it's a huge lineup. And, our goal today is to give you guys a fast-paced, completely factual breakdown of all this madness.
Right, exactly.
No preachy moral lessons, no grand life takeaways. We're just looking at the facts as they're being reported and connecting the dots so you get the full picture of the mechanics driving these headlines.
So true. So let's jump right into the viral Scamanda summer house scandal.
Oh, boy.
Because, this is basically a masterclass in how not to manage a timeline.
Yep.
We're talking about Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson.
Right.
At the reunion, they looked the cameras dead in the eye, and they claimed they kept the relationship completely PG until March 31st.
Which is a very specific date.
Very. They said this happened right after they released their joint public statement. But, the internet works fast, right? And the receipts completely blew up that narrative.
Well, yeah, and that's the inherent risk of trying to control the spin in the digital age. You have these gossip accounts, Jamoy and Laguna Bayaj, and they're functioning almost like independent wire services for reality TV fans.
Literally. They are doing investigative journalism at this point.
They really are. So they started pulling up these anonymous tips that directly refute that March 31st date.
Yeah.
We're talking about highly specific claims that Amanda and West had their first kiss in late February or March 1st.
Wow.
And then there's a totally separate report of them being caught making out at his New York City apartment on March 14th.
Right. And what makes this so fascinating to me is the leaked reunion audio that came out right after.
Oh, that audio.
In the audio, they actually admit that their public statement felt, quote, incredibly rushed.
Right. And you have to ask why.
Exactly. And why was it rushed? Because there was a mysterious video floating around that captured Amanda in what she called a vulnerable, intimate moment.
Interesting.
So if that video existed before March 31st, their entire official timeline is basically a work of fiction.
It really is. And it just highlights how reality stars often treat their PR statements as, legally binding truths when they're really just crisis management tools,
Oh, totally.
Because when the heat got turned up and the reunion started airing, they immediately changed their geographic location.
They fled.
They did. They fled to Italy. They were spotted doing heavy PDA at a pub in Rome, just kissing constantly.
Okay, wait, but Wes claims the trip is strictly for his cousin's wedding.
Sure, he claims that. But you have to admit, putting a literal ocean between yourself and a collapsing narrative, that's a classic evasion tactic.
Oh, absolutely. But evasion can only get you so far, especially when your own phone might be working against you.
Oh, the phone. Yeah.
Right before the reunion filmed, Wes' nude photos leaked.
Yeah.
And Andy Cohen even called it a reunion first because the cast was literally passing around a phone on the couches before the cameras even started rolling.
Which is wild. But the timing of that leak is what really caught the attention of reality TV veterans.
Right, because of Tamra.
Exactly. Tamra Judge floated a conspiracy theory on her podcast, and honestly, it's worth analyzing.
She knows the game.
She does. She thinks West leaked the photos himself.
Wait, really? Why?
Well, her rationale is that he was entirely, quote, too calm during the whole situation. And she pointed out a really crucial logistical question, why did he even have those specific photos saved locally on his phone right before walking onto a reunion stage?
Where phones are notoriously vulnerable anyway.
Right. Self-leaking is an extreme tactic, obviously, but it's not unheard of when someone wants to, drown out a timeline scandal with a completely different, slightly more sympathetic headline.
Oh, that is so manipulative, but kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
But the collateral damage from West's summer of chaos, it's actively spreading across networks.
It's everywhere.
Over on Real Housewives of New Jersey, Margaret Josephs did not hold back.
She never does.
True. She publicly called West's nudes unattractive and slammed both Amanda and Wes as idiots.
Wow.
Yeah, but Marge didn't stop there. She claimed Wes has been actively spreading rumors about hooking up with Jen Fessler purely for clout.
And see, that clout-chasing narrative is echoing over on Southern Hospitality, too.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, Miklos Peña publicly accused Mia Alario of sleeping with West.
No way.
Yep. Miklos claims Mia told Sally Carson the hookup was, quote, so good. And then Leva Bonaparte jumped in and backed Miggles up on the claim.
This is getting so messy.
Well, Mia denies the hookup entirely, but she did admit that West recently texted her an apology for getting her roped into his drama.
Okay, so I have to ask you, like, is West secretly trying to build his own reality TV dating cinematic universe by crossing into every single Bravo show?
I mean, he is basically treating Bravo like Marvel Phase 1.
Literally.
He's popping up in Southern hospitality like Nick Fury in a post-credits scene.
That is the perfect analogy.
Right. But the fundamental flaw in his strategy is that he's building a reputation as a villain, not an Avenger. Like, he's tethering himself to established names to guarantee screen time, but he's burning goodwill at an unsustainable rate.
And that burned goodwill is having, like, tangible, real-world consequences for the actual employment of the cast.
Yeah, we're seeing major fallout.
Because Ciara Miller is reportedly undecided about returning to Summer House.
Which is huge.
It is. Word on the street is she might pivot to doing Dancing with the Stars or Love Island instead.
And I think that's incredibly revealing about the current toxicity of the Summer House ecosystem. Well, when a core cast member would rather go on a physically grueling dance competition or a totally different network dating show than return to her home turf, you know, the interpersonal dynamics are just fractured.
Yeah, she wants out.
Exactly. Furthermore, producers are reportedly furious with West.
Wait, but why do the producers care who he's dating as long as it makes good TV?
Because, reality TV relies on a baseline of transparency between the cast and the production team. It's like the fourth wall of trust.
Oh, I see.
Right. If a producer doesn't know the truth about a relationship timeline, they can't accurately storyboard the season.
That makes sense.
When a cast member hides a major milestone, like dating multiple women or lying about a first kiss, it renders months of expensive filmed footage completely useless or just incredibly confusing in the editing bay.
Yeah, you can't edit a story if you don't have the real plot.
Exactly. So because he broke that trust, there are active discussions about potentially firing him.
Wow. And what about Kyle Cook's role in all this? Because West and Kyle apparently had this incredibly awkward 3-hour sit-down recently just to hash things out.
Yeah, so West actually initiated that meeting to apologize, and Kyle is reportedly taking the high road.
Which is rare for Kyle.
Very rare.
Yeah.
But from a brand perspective, that is the smartest play Kyle could make. By not blowing up at West, Kyle maintains the moral high ground and distances Loverboy from West's chaotic image.
That is actually really strategic.
It is. But the surrounding cast is definitely placing bets on the inevitable implosion. Like, Teddy Mellencamp and Tamra Judge both publicly predicted that West will dump Amanda soon.
Naturally.
And Tamra even jokingly predicted Kyle will end up sleeping with Jen Fessler next.
Oh my God, it's just an endless carousel of chaos. But, you know, amid all these imploding relationships, we do have a tiny sliver of reconciliation.
We do.
Yeah. Carl Radke and Lindsay Hubbard actually admitted to a light flirtation recently, and they are actively rebuilding their friendship. I know, that is genuinely shocking given how brutally their engagement ended on camera.
It is shocking, but, you know, the reality TV landscape rewards chaos, but it also deeply values a redemption arc.
That's true.
Sometimes when a cast goes through intense collective drama, former enemies find themselves aligning simply because they understand the unique pressure cooker they're in together.
Speaking of that pressure cooker, look at KJ Dillard and Dara Levitan.
All right.
They just sparked major split rumors.
All right.
They unfollowed each other, KJ deleted all their pictures together, and he tweeted a very ominous whelp.
Yeah, and the timing of that is what really requires context.
Right.
Because this happened right after KJ opened up on camera about his borderline personality disorder diagnosis, which recently resulted in a hospitalization.
Which is so heavy to deal with publicly.
It is. Filming a reality show is already a massive psychological stressor, so navigating a new relationship while managing a newly diagnosed severe mental health condition under studio lights, that's an incredibly complex dynamic that requires immense emotional bandwidth from both partners.
It really does.
Yeah.
And we are definitely seeing cast members become much more vocal about that psychological toll.
Yeah, we are.
Even Joe Wenberg from Vanderpump Rules jumped into the fray this week. She publicly praised Ciara Miller's strength, and then she used the opportunity to slam Tom Schwartz.
Of course.
She accused him of toying with her mental health and never giving her any real closure. Cast members are drawing very hard lines right now.
They are, and it signals a broader shift where reality stars are no longer willing to separate their off-camera mental health from their on-camera storylines.
All right, so Wes running to Italy was a classic evasion tactic. But sometimes reality stars try to buy their way out of a mess instead of running from it.
A literal exit strategy.
Yes. Which brings us to the intense financial calculations happening on the Valley. But before we get into those balance sheets, I have to share this midway fun fact with you.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, so Whitney Rose from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City posted this incredibly dramatic Instagram story. She was literally crying about how sad she is that Rihanna hasn't dropped a new album since 2016.
Wait, what?
Yes. And out of nowhere, Rihanna actually replies to the video commenting, "I feel attacked."
No way. That is amazing. I love when the invisible wall drops and massive A-list celebrities reveal they are secretly consuming the exact same Bravo drama we are.
It's the best. Okay, back to the drama. Let's look at the financial mess with Jessie Lawley and Michelle Sinay from the Valley.
This one is complicated.
Very. So Jessie reportedly took out a $300,000 SBA COVID loan, which, was ostensibly meant to keep his business afloat during the pandemic.
Right.
But instead, he allegedly blew it on lifestyle expenses, like dropping $100,000 just on a trip to the UK for his family.
Ooh.
Now, to expedite their divorce, Michelle has agreed to legally take on half of that debt, which is $150,000.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, is Michelle taking on this debt a boss move for her peace of mind? Or is this setting a terrible financial precedent?
I'm actually going to push back on the boss move narrative here.
Okay, why?
Legally speaking, taking on half of an SBA loan tied to a business you didn't mismanage is incredibly risky. Federal COVID loans have massive scrutiny attached to them.
Oh, that's a good point.
But if we look at the pure calculus of high-conflict divorces, she is essentially paying an exit tax.
Exit tax.
Yeah. Fighting over the origin of that debt in family court could easily cost her tens of thousands in attorney fees and drag the proceedings out for years. By absorbing the $150,000, she is buying her immediate freedom. It's a pragmatic calculation, but like a brutal one.
Wow, that totally puts it into perspective. She's buying time, not just paying a bill.
Exactly.
Also on the Valley, Lala Kent is making waves and asserting her own kind of dominance. She recently kissed Amber Childers on the lips.
Right.
Now, for anyone who needs a refresher, Amber is Randall Emmett's ex-wife. They didn't hook up, but they did sit down and have a really candid discussion about how their kids, Ocean, London, and Riley, handled the whole Lala and Randall affair.
I mean, from a PR standpoint, kissing your ex's ex on camera is the ultimate power move.
Oh, absolutely.
It visually neutralizes the scandal that defined them for years, and it projects this united front of blended family harmony post-scandal.
And Lala also had a lot to say about the men currently on the show.
Oh, she always does.
Right. She stated that Danny Bucco is lovely when he is sober, but she deeply questions his behavior when he is drinking. And she specifically pointed out his subsequent apologies to his wife, Nia.
Yeah.
Lala actually pointed to this exact dynamic as validation for her choice to use a sperm donor for her second child, saying it completely avoids the complexities of a potentially toxic partner.
Which is a fascinating look into how she's reverse engineering her current life choices by watching her castmates' marriages stumble.
Exactly.
However, Lala's interventions aren't sitting well with everyone in the group.
Right. Jasmine Good called out Kristen Duty for a glaring double standard.
Yeah, this was interesting.
Jasmine pointed out that Kristen completely validated Lala's triggers regarding Danny's behavior this season. But last year, when Jasmine had identical complaints about Danny making her uncomfortable, Kristen completely ignored her.
And that exposes how reality TV alliances actually operate, right?
Yeah.
Truth and validation on these shows are rarely objective. They are dictated by the hierarchy of the cast. Kristen validating Lala but ignoring Jasmine shows exactly whose voice carries capital within that specific friend circle.
That is so true. It's
Yeah.
all about status. And on a slightly lighter note for the Valley's physical transformations,
Oh, boy.
Brittany Cartwright celebrated her mommy makeover by laying her 2015 to 2025 implants to rest with a literal tombstone cake.
I saw that.
Say what you want, but you have to love the commitment to the visual bit.
I mean, it's certainly one way to definitively mark the end of an era.
Right. Okay. While the Valley is dealing with civil debt and tombstone cakes, we need to shift our focus because some reality stars are currently facing actual serious criminal accusations in court.
Yes.
And we're just going to lay out the facts exactly as they're reported in the legal filings.
Starting with Real Housewives of Orange County alum Kelly Dodd.
Yeah.
According to prosecutors, she is currently facing 3 misdemeanors. And the most severe of those is a revenge porn charge.
Which is massive.
It is. Legal documents allege she unlawfully and intentionally distributed explicit photos of a Jane Doe in August 2025 without consent. She's also facing a separate battery charge stemming from an incident in June 2025.
And these aren't just FCC complaints or reality TV drama, She's facing potential jail time for penal code violations.
Real legal consequence.
Exactly. And at the exact same time, she has been in a massive online feud with Dr. Divya Srinivasa.
Oh, yeah, that whole mess.
Kelly tried to sue Divya, but Divya posted receipts showing the lawsuit attempt failed. And she has been publicly holding Kelly accountable for her online behavior ever since.
The transition from online feuds to actual courtrooms is a line we're seeing crossed more frequently. And moving to Real Housewives of Rhode Island, there is escalating tension around Rula Pontarelli. Reports indicate she's aggressively direct messaging critics who bring up her husband Brian's affair.
Right.
But what provides necessary context here is their documented legal history. Rula previously had Brian arrested for placing a tracking device on her car.
Which is terrifying.
It is. She eventually dropped those charges. But that history of surveillance and police involvement adds a very intense layer to her current public defense of him.
It's a stark reminder that the off-camera reality is often much darker than the edited storylines. And the domestic issues continue with the cast of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
Taylor Frankie Paul recently posted a photo of a large bruise on her arm. In the caption, she claimed that the psychological torture she experienced was actually worse than the physical abuse from her ex, Dakota Mortensen.
It is a severe allegation. And while Taylor is making these claims, her co-star Macy Neely is dealing with the fallout of how fandoms react to this kind of trauma. Macy publicly called out Taylor's, quote, cult followers for harassing her online. Macy revealed that a fan actually called her a baby daddy killer simply because she defended another cast member who disagreed with Taylor.
It is genuinely intense how these reality TV fandoms operate like mobilized armies.
Well, that's exactly what they are. Modern reality stars often weaponize their Instagram followers as an unregulated PR firm.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, when a star feels wronged, they don't just put out a statement. They passively aim a highly emotionally invested fan base at their castmates. It creates a terrifying environment where simply disagreeing with a fan favorite results in severe, coordinated online harassment.
It's psychological warfare via comments section.
Exactly.
Okay, let's pivot to our final segment because reality TV stars are popping up in the absolute most bizarre arenas right now. We are talking about local government and literal beds.
A very strange pivot, but let's do it.
Let's start with the political ambitions. Mauricio Umansky recently went on a radio show and decided to defend Spencer Pratt.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Lisa Rinna had shaded Spencer's run for the mayor of Los Angeles, essentially saying a reality star has no business being a mayor. But Mauricio strongly disagreed, pointing out that Spencer is surrounding himself with informed people.
But, the real headline here isn't Spencer Pratt.
No.
It's that Mauricio used the interview to tease his own future run for mayor.
Wait, really?
Yep. He officially confirmed his political alignment, stating he is registered as an independent. He described his platform as being fiscally Republican, socially Democrat, and explicitly anti-woke.
Wow.
He also made a point to vocalize his strong support for the Second Amendment, noting he keeps a gun in his home for protection.
That is a whole platform.
He is clearly testing the waters. He's laying out a very specific, centrist-leaning conservative platform to see how the public reacts to a reality star turned politician in California.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you think about it. Reality stars fundamentally believe they can govern because they know how to manage a narrative, and they view modern politics as simply an extension of narrative control.
That is a terrifying but probably accurate assessment. Okay, from the ballot box to the bedroom. I think reality TV has officially evolved into its final form. Have you seen the new $100K Bedrot Challenge?
It is certainly pushing the boundaries of what constitutes a competition show.
It's wild. Cozy Earth's YouTube channel is hosting this series where reality stars literally compete to stay in bed the longest without touching the ground.
Incredible.
It is hosted by London Laserson, and they have pulled in some genuine heavy hitters. We're talking about Survivor and Traitors legends like Natalie Anderson and Carolyn Weiger.
Yeah, and if you look at the evolution of competition reality TV, we started with extreme physical endurance, right? Like standing on a pole for 10 hours.
Classic Survivor stuff.
Exactly. But the Bedrot Challenge strips away all physical exertion and turns the game into a pure test of psychological endurance and physical stagnation.
Which honestly sounds harder.
It might be. Doing absolutely nothing on camera for days on end requires a completely different kind of mental fortitude. It will be fascinating to see who cracks first.
I cannot wait to see how that unfolds, because doing nothing sounds easy until there is $100,000 on the line.
Totally.
We have covered so much ground today, from timeline lies and SBA loans to mayoral runs, but make sure you join us next time for our deep dive, because you are not going to believe the leaked audio we just got our hands on from a certain yachting franchise.
I've heard it, and I'm telling you, it completely rewrites the entire narrative of their upcoming season.
It really does. But before you go, I want to leave you with this thought to mull over. If you were trapped in the Bedrot Challenge, competing for that $100,000, which reality TV star from today's deep dive would absolutely drive you insane if they were stuck in the bed right next to yours. Think about it. See you next time.